Welcome back to New Cats on the Block. We are beginning conference play, opening conference play in the Big Ten, and it's not going to be easy. I wanted to play. I wanted to do this series with a Big Ten team because I've lived in the Midwest for most of my life. I am an Ohio State Buckeye fan, and I've just been closely related to Big Ten football for most of my life. So to do an NCAA series, I wanted to pick a Big Ten team, but part of that was knowing that our path to success is going to be very difficult. Case in point is we are taking on the number one ranked Ohio State Buckeyes, our fifth game of the season, in the horseshoe. So I make an emphasis on being in the horseshoe just because it's difficult, but as if it would make a difference if we were home for this game. But I'm going to try and stay positive here. And another thing I want to note is the presentation here to start off this game. I don't cancel this out whenever I record these games, but for some reason, every game I've started, it's canceled it out, except for this game. I think even the other games I've recorded after this, they just cancel it out. So I don't know why this one worked and the other times it doesn't. I really don't know, but it's at least cool that my favorite team, I get to see the whole presentation here on full display. But the Ohio State Buckeyes, they need very little introduction, especially with this point in time in their history. They're in, I think, their second or third year with Jim Tressel as their head coach. I think it's their third year. And the previous year, as you may know, 2002 is when the Buckeyes would go undefeated and win the national championship. So this is the year they're coming off of it, and they would still do very good this year. Not national championship good, but I think they would only lose about 2 games. So this is a pretty powerful Buckeyes team. There's definitely some people on this team that just they're still numbers like number 7, but I probably know who they are. But we're still just gonna keep up with the consistency of the rest of the series and just refer to them all as numbers. So if you recognize some iconic players here from early Buckeyes history, then enjoy that. Hopefully we can maybe not get embarrassed here in our first Big Ten game, as we already give up a pretty big gain to the fullback out of the backfield, who cuts upfield and gets a very solid chunk. And the rain is coming down here at the shoe, so this could easily make things a little bit weird. It's hard to see on the screen. The rain effect is kind of bad, but yeah, there is rain. Believe it or not, we are playing in the elements. As Ohio State's going to go to the running back this time on the ground, and he does not have enough. So that's going to do it for Ohio State's opening drive, and they're going to have to give it to the Wildcats to start their first drive of the game. Typical Ohio State, just kind of coming out and doing absolutely nothing on that first drive. So we're going to float this one out to number 80, who's going across the middle, and he has enough for the first down. So we already pick up our first fresh set of downs here to start this game off as we go to the ground again. And Ohio State has that one pretty well covered, and we're not going very far. But we are working something here right around midfield. So I'm really trying to stay optimistic that we can do something here. Second and long situation. We're making a bad throw off of our foot, and their linebackers got that one pretty well read. It was I didn't have my feet planted. I don't know if I just thought I could just flip that one out, or maybe I saw it at the last second. I was like, ooh, gotta get it to him, but it didn't work. But it's fine because on the very next play we exchanged turnovers. A pretty poor pass. I mean, our linebacker made a pretty athletic play there. Watch him just kind of reach out for that one, just stretch out and grab it. So looks like both quarterbacks made a play there that we thought the middle linebacker couldn't really do much, but they do. So we exchanged turnovers, and now we have this one going the other way, just about where we lost it the last time. So we find our tight end who cuts upfield and has almost enough for that first down. Trying to move here quick. Don't want to give too much time here. I really want the offense to operate, I guess, as efficiently as possible. It's been a theme I've wanted all season long that we haven't really been able to do. I mean, we've had drives all season long in some games and stuff, but that was all out of conference, okay? This is conference play now. We got to look real tight. Any issues that we had heading into this game, we got to iron out. We got to look sharp here. We're already facing a 3rd and 10 here in Ohio State territory, and we find their linebacker for our second pick of the game, and it is still just early on in this first quarter. Already making stupid mistakes. I feel like because I'm speaking it into the universe, it's just coming to bite me in the butt, just making me look stupid. as we watch our offense struggle. But our defense seems to be still running pretty sharp here, coming off of that big win in Duke last week. So as we get a nice play in the backfield here off the running back. So second and long situation for the Buckeyes. As they're going to go with another handoff, but this time he's got a little bit of room, has a nice hole, and earns back a good chunk of what he lost there, and then some. So, but a third and long situation for the Buckeyes. Can they convert now? Neither team has really been able to do much on offense. Can Ohio State change that? As he flies that one out to the right side, his receiver was completely wide open. There was no one in front of him, but he couldn't make the catch off of that terrible pass, as we can't make a pass, and the pressure gets to our quarterback, and he's going to be eating some grass there. As Ohio State comes up with a huge defensive stack, and we are facing a second and super duper long. And we float this one out to a running back out of the backfield, but we almost found their middle linebacker again. I don't know if he's just not seeing them, if number 14 is not seeing him there, but he's very much there, and he's watching what we're doing. So 3rd and 17, can we do anything as the pressure gets to us again? And that one is fumbled. I kind of wish that was an incompletion, but they strip sack us, but we are able to fall on it, and we're going to have to punt it away. So Ohio State's going to get some pretty solid field position since we didn't have a whole lot of room to punt this one off, and we probably didn't get the most of that punt. So another pretty piss-poor drive here for the Wildcats is going to give the Buckeyes great field position and some time. But the first quarter is going to come to a close, and we have managed to hold the number 1 ranked Buckeyes to 0 points. So pretty remarkable as we bite on the play fake and go right for the running back, and the quarterback had all time to make that throw, and he made it straight to our strong safety. He had a big pick last week against Duke, and he's got another one here against the Buckeyes as he picks off number 16, who floats that one up into the end zone after we bit on that play fake. He had all day to throw, and he still made a terrible decision. We made a pretty bad decision trying to take this one out of the end zone. I thought we could escape maybe the one defender and at least get something back, but we ended up just getting brought back in the end zone. So if we want to capitalize off this interception, we're going to have to go the entire length of the field, and I'm not feeling too confident. And look at that passing comparison. That's wild. No completion so far for the Buckeyes. That is just nuts. Our offense is not playing how they should. Third down situation, we find number 80, who picks up the first down. So I thought we would probably go 3 and out off of that interception, playing up against our back door. But we're able to get some breathing room and even get a fresh set of downs here to continue. Just 5 minutes left in the second quarter. We're going to drop back. The pressure is on, and the pressure gets to us again, as their middle linebacker sneaks right up through the middle of the line of scrimmage and gets right to our quarterback, and we are heading the wrong direction. So 2nd and 19, back at the goal line again. We find number 80 again, who gets back a lot of what we just lost. Makes it just about a regular 3rd and 10 situation, just about. So can we convert here and get some points off of another Buckeye mistake? And no, we can't, as that one's defended well by the Buckeye defense, and we're going to have to send out the punt unit yet again. So Ohio State's going to get another opportunity to operate here in our own territory. So as I go to the ground game again, and it's not doing a whole lot for them, but as we saw in that passing comparison, they can't really pass the ball so far. So we seem to be doing a good job of containing this Buckeye offense, as they face a 2nd and 8, and they go to the ground game again. This time he's got room on the outside. He can't break any extra tackles, but it doesn't matter because he's got that first down. So it's been pretty unremarkable from the running back so far today, but that one play is just all they need. That's important for him. So quarterback's going to drop back and look over his options, and he finds a running back out of the backfield again, floats it out to that flat as he cuts up field and gets brought down at about the 10-yard line. So maybe that's the solution. They're figuring it out. If they can just keep going to number 13, they'll eventually make something happen. 2nd and short situation for the Buckeyes here. They are creeping closer and closer to the goal line. They're going to pitch it out to the running back, and he's going to float out. And he had one lead block there, but it didn't really open up the way he thought it would as he gets brought down going the other way. So 3rd and 6. What can Ohio State do? They got great field position and a great opportunity to add some points. Can they do it? Quarterback's going to drop back. He's got time here, and he had his man. Yeah, I mean, he was covered, but he definitely had that opening there, and number 12 couldn't come down with it. He just dropped it. So Buckeyes are going to send out the field goal kicking unit here. on 4th and 6 and try and add something off of this drive, and they do just that, as that one splits the uprights right down Main Street. And unlike the other out-of-conference teams that we've played here, the Dukes, the Air Forces of the world, I know the Buckeyes probably have a very, very capable kicker, so I don't want to give them even slightly okay field position for a field goal, because they're probably going to convert. And we cannot play that same game, as you've seen our kicker struggle all season long, or rather me struggle to kick halfway decent kicks. But we got the ball back here, and we got a little bit of time before the half is over, so can we answer the Buckeyes? As we throw a very dangerous pass into a whole mess of players. We had a receiver who was in position to make the catch, but still dangerous here. 2nd and 10 for the Wildcats, and the pressure is on, but we float this one out. And we have the one-on-one matchup we wanted. We find number 80, and he's breaking off. He's got one man on him, and he gets him down at the 20-yard line. But we have a huge, huge gain. A humongous blunder by this Buckeye defense. Our quarterback doesn't even have the arm strength for deep balls like that. But we get the matchup we wanted. It's a one-on-one. I haven't tried deep balls like that all season long. You know from the Cardinals series that is my go-to, is just floating out the deep ball to David Boston. I can't really do that in this series, but I tried it there and it worked out for us. So we've got great field position close to the red zone here as we float it to our tight end, who gets brought down at the 20-yard line again. And we got a 2nd and short situation, and we could potentially add some points here before the half is over. So we find number 80 again, who goes upfield for a first down. And not only do we have a fresh set of downs, but we have a 1st and goal. So just a minute left. What can these Wildcats do here? We got to get some points here. We got guys open. We float it to the tight end again, who's open right along the goal line. Had to come back a little bit to make that catch. But we were brought down at about the 2 or 3 yard line. So we go for the delayed handoff, and we run upfield, and we get brought into the end zone. And we got a touchdown on these Buckeyes. Reservation for 6. And a nice efficient drive here. Maybe coaches on the sideline getting in their heads, saying, look, they finally scored some points. We got to do something. As we get a halfway decent kick for the point after, and we take a 4-point lead over the Buckeyes here with just 30 seconds left in the first half. So having a lead in this game isn't something I thought we would have here, but their offense has struggled so far. They were able to kind of do something, but we've been giving them pretty great field position all game. So it's not like the Buckeyes have really done anything remarkable, I guess, on offense so far here. And again, with the elements, like I said, with the rain coming down, it's going to be a little tricky game here. So what are the Buckeyes going to do to answer us back? Are they just going to run this one out to end the half, or are they going to try and squeeze something out here? 2nd and short, 28 seconds left. They're going to send a man in motion. There's no one in the backfield. What are the Buckeyes capable of doing? Let's see. The quarterback's going to drop back, and he floats this one out to number 82, who fumbles it on the way down, and we had a whole bunch of guys there. And our linebacker, who had the pick earlier, comes up with the fumble recovery. Amazing. But there is some laundry on the field, and a face mask on that play is not only going to give the ball back to the Buckeyes, but they're going to get a fresh set of downs. So, and on that next play, they floated up to number 8, who's got no one in front of him, and we don't have the speed to catch him, and that is a Buckeye touchdown. Oh, so heartbreaking. Oh, my goodness. We had a recovery. We would have been in great position, great shape to add some more points in the last 25, 30 seconds or so of the first half. But instead, a very, very bad face mask not only gives the ball back to the Buckeyes, but all they needed was one play. They said, if you're going to mess up like that, we're going to make you pay for it. So with just 16 seconds left in the first half, the Buckeyes retake the lead. It's a 3-point lead, so things are still manageable, but a huge mistake. I don't know how we recover from that, other than just trying to do some magic of our own here. A tough break for the Wildcat defense. With 13 seconds left, what can we do? Are we going to try and add some points here as we float this one up to everyone? And in a spectacular one-handed interception by the free safety. Oh my God, did you see that? He just mossed like 7 players with one hand. Oh, an Odell Beckham-style catch for the Buckeyes gives them the ball back. As I was trying to make some desperate move here for some points, and the Buckeyes are floating this one out again, and their man's open, but they can't connect. Number 8 was open again, going towards the corner of the end zone, and they can't make it. So they're going to send out the field goal unit with time expiring. and kick this one out, and it's going to head off of the cushion there. And they almost had the leg for that. This is what I was saying. I knew Ohio State's kicker was probably, he's probably like an 85 overall in this game. So I thought he had a good chance. But that's going to bring a close to the first half. The Buckeyes hold on to their 3-point lead as things get pretty crazy in the last 30 seconds or so of the first half. I feel like we've seen that at least once or twice outside of this game so far in this series. We're going to start the second half off with the ball. We have a manageable deficit to cut away at, but we have to be sharp on offense. We have to be sharp. So can we be sharp as we throw a very dangerous pass? It gets batted around, but number 2 comes up from behind and makes an amazing catch, an amazing effort to extend that play and extend that drive. So we have a first down now moving forward here. We're going to drop back, look over what we got. We try to float it to the running back out of the backfield, but those plays are weird. That route's weird. You really have to wait for like the perfect second to flip that out, and if you don't, you're going to get what you just saw. It just heads right to the dirt. So high snap, and we flip that one to number 9. The linebacker was sitting there waiting on that ball, but I guess he just wasn't paying attention, and we managed to get that one off to our receiver, who's got another first down here. So we are cooking something out of the half. We got guys open. We find our man, number 9 again, and he falls forward just past that first down marker, and we have another fresh set of downs. We are marching on this Buckeye defense. Can we continue it up as we find number 80 for another reception and another first down? Look at us moving this ball, man. We are efficient on offense coming out of the half. We can smell a path to victory, and we want it. We're going to drop back again, and we got guys open again as we find number 9 again. And I think the Buckeyes are running strictly man here, and it's just not working out for them. I wouldn't imagine that our receivers got the edge on their defensive backs, but it seems to be that way. As we have a first and goal situation now. Can we convert, add some points? A real rough-looking play there. We tried to roll out, but they had a little spy there waiting for us, and fortunately that one does not result in a fumble. We were able to get rid of that. And on the next play, we're going to find our running back, who makes an amazing catch, and we got another touchdown. So 2 touchdowns off the back of number 18, a receiving and a rushing touchdown. Getting real efficient, getting real active. It's going to be pretty wild because he's probably not going to have that many yards by the time the season's over. Like, he might have like 300 total rushing yards, and that might even be pushing it. But he's going to have he's got 15 touchdowns. It's going to be nuts. So we regain the lead here in this game as we take a 14-10 lead, and we are running for their quarterback, and we find him, and we bring him down. I didn't think many sacks would happen in this game, but there's one. We got one. So forcing a 2nd and 10 here for the Buckeyes. 3 minutes left to play in the third quarter. And look at the coverage there, the line of scrimmage. He's got all day to throw, and that one floats over the head of his receiver, but we do have another flag on the field. And that's one's going to be a holding on the Buckeyes. So we get a nice little bailout here. Their tight end's going to get called for a hold there, and Jim Tressel's not happy. He's not a very happy man. And so the Buckeyes are going to keep moving backwards here. It's a second and very long situation now for the Buckeyes. And the pressure's getting to him, and it gets to him, all the way to him. It gets all the way home, and we bring him down again. It looks like we almost about had a safety, but the forward progress, I guess, it stopped. So it's a 3rd and 23 from the own Buckeye goal line. And they're going to hand off to their fullback, who's still on his feet, trying to hurdle and make some more moves there. But he gets caught up in some blocks and doesn't go very far. So we silenced the Buckeyes following our touchdown, which is pretty huge. So, but we got a punt here, so that means that something's going to happen. What is going to happen? As our cornerback's got some room here, he's got some space, and he cuts up field, and he gets brought down, but on the way down, he fumbles. There's nothing but Buckeyes there, and he's got room, but he tries to tiptoe on the side and walks out of bounds. Fortunately, there was no one back there. That one easily could have been a scoop and score for the Buckeyes. Fortunately, it isn't, but that was a tough fumble, and I think I tried, out of desperation, flipping through the menus. Where's the challenge play? Let me challenge the play, but upon watching this through editing and stuff, I think I might have actually dropped that one on the way down to the ground. So we give the Buckeyes the ball back here late in this third quarter, and that could be a pretty pivotal turnover for us. We were in pretty great shape. Our defense came up big, but special teams, not an area that we've messed up a lot on. I mean, I kick a lot of balls out of bounds, but just things like returns, it's not a big area of mistake for us. But right there, that is huge. That could potentially turn the tide of this game here. The momentum is going to shift as the Buckeyes have a new lease on life, and they are already moving the ball. They already got another first down. So second and short situation for the Buckeyes. What are they going to do here? They're going to stick with the ground game, and they get brought down. Now, that looks pretty short of the marker, and there's another flag on the field. Scrappy game here. Not very disciplined. What's going to happen now? And a clipping call on the Buckeyes. So we get another nice little bailout here as the receiver gets called on a clipping. So we're going to move the Buckeyes further back now. And the Buckeyes are not playing very disciplined at all, but it doesn't matter. They find their man on the right side, and he is gone. No one's around him. And I don't understand this Buckeye team, man. After a huge mistake or play, they just find a way. It's like, all right, fine. We're not playing around anymore. Here you go. Nice little 25, 35-yard pass for the touchdown. We had a man there, try to get him by the shoestrings, couldn't do it. And so the Buckeyes add another touchdown, and they're going to retake the lead, the very small lead that we held on to for a couple minutes, as they send that one through and extend their lead to 3, or retake, rather, the lead, a 3-point lead, as the game is now 17-14. With just 1 second left in the third quarter, the Buckeyes are going to kick this one off, and it's just tough. It's tough. In that last couple minutes, we had a couple moments where we really had the Buckeyes right where we want them. We felt like we had them right in our grasp, and they squirreled out. They weaseled out somehow. So it's tough to watch the Buckeyes continue to roll on us here on just a couple plays after all the mistakes that they've made and that we've made. To know that we're just coughing them up here on one play is just, it's frustrating. But we still got plenty of time here to mount one of the largest upsets in the history of college football. It's second and short now for the Wildcats. Can we keep the drive alive? Keep the drive alive, and we are not going to do it doing that. Again, we miss that middle linebacker. He's sitting there waiting all game. He's not going anywhere. He never left. He's just sitting there. But we find him again and throw another interception. And now the mistakes for the Wildcats are just starting to mount up. Can we quit shooting ourselves in the foot here? As the Buckeyes have amazing field position now, can they add more points? They hand it off to their fullback, who gets caught up in the mess of the line of scrimmage, but gets brought down forward and turns it into an all right gain of some yardage. So, second and short situation here for the Buckeyes. They're going to fake the pitch and go in the air and find our cornerback, number 28, who I believe also had a pick. And he had the speed there to elude the tight end. I tried to get the outside edge, but I couldn't stay in bounds to try and avoid him. So potentially could have been a huge return, maybe even a pick six. But we got the ball by going the other way, so that's what's important. Our defense going out and giving us another chance with the ball after we thought we were potentially staring the end of this game in the face. And now we are moving. There's still plenty of time, as we have 9 turnovers in this game. Like I said, the turnover differential is going to be nuts. It's going to be absolutely insane. So we give it to our running back there to try and get the last of that yardage, and he falls forward. He doesn't have it. So, it's a tough situation. We had to punt this one off. We were way too far in our own territory to keep the offense on the field to try and get the rest. But a potential costly coaching decision there. I was too far. I mean, I was around the 20-yard line, I think. So I couldn't risk that. So gotta send the defense out to hopefully get another stop. I know it's asking the world of them at this point, but they do just that as they bring the fullback down, and he doesn't have enough. So our defense comes up huge here as we force a 3rd and 1. Can we stop him again? As we get to the running back and we bring him back, and now it looks like he doesn't have it. And this right here is the call of the game. So we made the huge stop to the fullback to bring up the 3rd down and potentially force the Buckeyes out. But they get bailed out here on that play with the running back. I mean, for sure it looked like he didn't have it. I mean, maybe the ball crossed before the tackle animation, but that's a heart-crushing turn of events there. Again, we can't challenge the ball spot or anything like that. So the Buckeyes now pretty much have free reign to just eat this clock out as we get another pretty big stop there in their fullback. They were trying to just run the ball out and get the last couple inches there, and we managed to stop them. But we got to start burning the timeouts, and their running back there falls forward, gets that first down, and it's going to about do it for the Wildcats. So a really just tough. I remember recording this. I think I was just so fed up from how this game was how this game went down in that last minute or so. As we get a last gasp there, as they fumble trying to run the ball out, and we had a guy in position to dive on it, but the game is just, I don't know, man. The game just didn't want us to win, didn't want us to walk out, which is fine. Like I said at the beginning, I really had no hopes for this game. I was going to come out and try my best here, and I feel like we did a pretty good job, but I had a lot of costly interceptions that I threw, or rather that number 14 threw. And so it's a tough way to lose, I guess, when we had so many opportunities to win. The Buckeyes offense came out in an absolute slog at the beginning of this game with all the rain and the cold weather, but they end up on top. They managed to, just to score when they had to, man. It's almost like a modern day Alabama. They found a way to win when they had to. They just, when their back's against the wall, they find a way out. And we don't have the talent like that, and we're not that good of a coach yet. We got to learn ourselves. So the number one ranked Buckeyes managed to escape their own shoe here, their own home. They managed to escape the Wildcats, who were coming hot on their tails. There you see the numbers there. Just the passing comparison is nuts. So many turnovers. Just do not protect the football, and we really need to do better at doing that. So our quarterback didn't have an awful game. The interceptions is pretty bad. 4 picks. Geez. But overlooking that, I guess completion and yardage just isn't terrible. All things considered, if we throw a lot of picks, as long as we're at least efficient with our passing game, I'm not going to be too mad. But 4 picks is egregious. We can't afford that. Number 80 was our MVP today with over 100 yards, 7 receptions, which is solid. I'm really not that mad about how the team played. You know what I mean? We had so many opportunities. The Buckeyes just played a terrible game, but it probably wasn't a game that we were meant to win in the first place. So I'm going to try and be a good loser, not a sore loser, and just take it on the chin, take those calls for what they are, and we will look ahead. And so looking ahead to our next game here, we play another ranked Big Ten opponent. I'm not sure at this time when I played this game how many were. I'm sure the obvious ones like Michigan, obviously Ohio State still is, and I think there might be another sleeper, like a Purdue might be ranked or something. So, but the Minnesota Golden Gophers are ranked. They're number 24. They're having a shockingly good season here. They're undefeated. So we were coming off a pretty big loss, but we are hungry, and we are going back home. We're in Evanston, Illinois, and we are not going to let the Gophers slip us up. I don't care what the numbers say. So meet us back there in Evanston, Illinois. We need everybody to take on the Minnesota Golden Gophers.